Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina and I'm a mother to 3 little girls with 1 more on the way. Today I'm going to share with you my 28-week bump update and let you know about all the things that I've been going through now that I'm in my 3rd trimester. So I haven't been one of those moms that has come on and sort of shared every little aspect of my pregnancy. I so commend women that go and do that and that they just sort of document each stage. For me, it's just one of those things, it's time. I've got 3 little ones that I'm caring for at home, and so for me to set up the tripod and actually sit down and film uninterrupted is really hard. It's really challenging. And so I'm here to share with you sort of an update and kind of a summary on what it's like to be pregnant for the 4th time now, and now that I'm going into my 3rd trimester. So hopefully I can kind of give you guys a perspective on what that's been like. So as I mentioned, I am 28 weeks along now, and it's been a really good pregnancy so far. I would say I'm just one of those people that have textbook pregnancies, which essentially means that each pregnancy as I've had and experienced, it's just been really easygoing. I think all the symptoms and changes that happen within me are very normal, and they just sort of follow that sort of stereotypical pregnancy journey. Now with this one, definitely I feel, and probably with each subsequent pregnancy, I do feel a little bit more tired. And I think that part of it has to do with just raising other children in the meantime, which is just all around tiring. But also, I think my body's just taking a little more wear and tear, and so I feel it just a little bit more. I know with this pregnancy, I've started to feel even some sort of pains and sciatic kind of issues coming along quite early. Like before I even had this belly, I was already starting to have some pains in like my pelvic region. And so I was surprised by that, because I know with my first, I didn't really feel much pain until going more towards my 3rd trimester. And so with this one, I feel like things have just sort of kicked in a little sooner. Now with each pregnancy, they've all been pretty similar. Now, yes, I do have 3 girls, so some of you might think that there's a correlation between gender and pregnancy, but in all honesty, I think it's just, this is how I carry, this has been my experience. With all 3, I had morning sickness, which I want to actually call all-day sickness, that's more accurate. And that lasted, well, for probably nearly a month or more, which I know in the scheme of things doesn't sound like a lot, but as some of you may have experienced the same thing, it's torture, especially when you feel like you have to throw up every single day at all different times a day, and you're supposed to be eating, but that's the last thing you want to do. And so, yeah, that whole part of it, 1st trimester for me, is really hard. It's isolating because you're usually, if you're someone like myself, I kind of keep it a secret for a while. And so you're kind of just silently suffering by yourself, sick to your stomach, and just hoping that you can kind of push through it and get to the next trimester. Now, thankfully, once I get into 2nd trimester, it's a different story. I feel more like myself again. And it's always nice to sort of have that energy come back and not feel the aches and pains. It always feels sort of like a really happy honeymoon stage of pregnancy. You know, you're feeling good. You know, you've got the energy, and you don't have all these sort of crazy symptoms and sort of feelings working against you. Now, of course, that all starts to peter off once you go into 3rd trimester, and all the sort of the feelings of just being bigger, like your body transforms. And so you start to feel a lot of that. And I will admit, this is my 4th, and I'm starting to have like anxiety about labor and delivery. And, you know, I'm still one of those people that I'm self-conscious about my weight gain, you know, like, am I at the right level of weight here? Like, have I been watching my food intake? Not really. I mean, I try to eat healthy, but you know, if I'm craving something salty or I'm craving something sweet, I'm gonna indulge a little bit. And I honestly don't think that that's a huge deal. Some women might argue differently. They might stick to a healthier sort of controlled diet, but I've never really been that kind of person. I kind of intuitively eat, if that's the proper word for it. But essentially I just eat sort of a well-balanced diet, and if there's things that I'm feeling like I'm craving, I indulge in them. one thing that's been really interesting with this pregnancy is I've really been craving a lot of sort of citrus. And so, which is great because it's a time of year where I can get a lot of oranges and access to citrus fruit. And so that's been a pretty easy thing to accommodate. Even at one point, I started to crave grapefruit juice, which is so unusual because I usually don't drink juice at all. Like it's just not something that's part of my diet. And so I ended up buying grapefruit juice and having that as well. So yeah, that's kind of maybe a weird thing that I've sort of been going through lately. Other than that, it's been really good. I feel good. The baby is very active. I constantly feel the baby's movement, the kicks, and just sort of the comfort of knowing that this baby's thriving and doing well. And I'm just so looking forward to meeting them, especially my little girls. They're really excited to meet their sibling and just have this fourth little one come into the picture. And it's funny because with my girls, I really thought that I was just going to be a girl mom, and I'd accepted that. And so that chapter of my life was starting to come to an end in the baby stages, but yet we ended up being blessed with this surprise baby number 4. And so now I'm starting to try to envision this fourth child being part of the big scheme of things, and it's really exciting, and I can't wait to see what my girls think of this little person, and just seeing their bond and love grow. Obviously, being a mother to children already, I already know some things what to expect, and so that really eases this process of pregnancy for me. I'm not sort of quick to go read up and Google on things if I'm feeling something that's different. I know that from experience that I've probably had this before, and if I really had a concern, I'd probably just bring it up with my doctor. So there's definitely a sense of ease and feeling more relaxed at this point of pregnancy. Because I'm a stay-at-home mom, I do have the luxury of being able to find times to sit down and just to listen to my body. And I think that's something that a lot of women unfortunately miss out on if they're not able to do those things. I'm able to rest my feet at night and just sort of try my best to take care of myself. It's not easy, and I know that a lot of stay-at-home mothers like myself do the same thing, but we don't always look after ourselves. So that's important, but I'm trying my best to do that. Something else that I've started to notice is that my insomnia is kicking in, and so there's times where I'm waking up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm just wide awake and thinking about all these things. Usually it has to do with labor or something that I just don't really want to wrap my brain around quite yet. And so I know that that is my body's way of preparing me for the newborn stages. I know that seems to be a symptom for a lot of women when they are pregnant, as they start to get insomnia, and it's torturous because you would hope that you would be getting the most rest that you can, especially in third trimester when you're getting big and you're starting to slow down, and yet you end up waking up and getting your sleep disturbed. And so that's been difficult as well. And plus, as you're getting bigger and you're trying to get comfortable at night, I'm usually awake and aware when I turn over. And so every time I turn over, I'm usually awake. And so that can be kind of a disturbance of my sleep as well. And then the third thing is heartburn. And I've had this with each of my pregnancies, and it's not fun. And usually I'm living on Tums because everything just seems to upset my stomach. I'm one of those people that have like a short torso, I would say. And so there's just not a lot of room in there. And so, even from like a glass of water, I start to feel this sort of effect of heartburn. And so it's really annoying. Every time I go to bed, I'm propping all my pillows and I'm making sure my mattress is sort of upright and trying to make the best of it. And so these symptoms and things that we go through as pregnant women are hard, and it's something that I so look forward to when I'm done. Don't get me wrong, I love being pregnant. It is so amazing, and it's incredible to feel and grow this little human inside you. But then when you birth that baby and you just suddenly feel like you get your lung capacity back and the heartburn goes away, and I get to enjoy coffee and wine and all these things that I loved before, it's really nice to just sort of have those things to look forward to after being pregnant. Of course, the other thing that's been going through my mind is sort of starting to anticipate preparing for baby. Now, I know that with the fourth, I probably have this more relaxed nature, and I also do have a lot of things already in place. You know, we already have the bassinet, we have all the sort of the supplies and the tools. We've started to order diapers. We have sort of a supply of things coming in. I've got sleepers that I have left over from my girls because we never found out the genders of any of our daughters, and so I would always buy these sort of neutral, gender neutral things for the beginning days of newborn. So I have things like that, and you know, but even still, I do like to indulge and buy a couple special new things for the new baby, and I definitely am feeling it this time with it being my last baby, and so I'm always looking at things online and sort of pondering and wondering what this little person's going to be like, and you know, what sort of special things that I can bring into the home just to kind of give the baby and myself that sort of comfort and nostalgia. It's hard to face the fact that this will be my last, and I haven't felt super emotional about it yet, but I know that I'll probably feel that, especially maybe in the days in the hospital when you're just full of emotions and the hormones are pouring out of your pores. I'll probably be feeling the effects of that, and just understanding that this will be the last time that I'll be in the hospital giving birth to a little person. And so yeah, there's a lot of emotions wrapped up in this pregnancy for sure. So I guess I'll give you guys a little peek at the bump. So here we are. See if that makes a difference. I feel like I'm pretty big. Remember, this is my fourth pregnancy, so be kind to me. I guess I see some women, they show their bellies without a shirt, so I guess I can do that for you guys. Yeah, there it is in all its glory. That's going to be it on my update, you guys. Hopefully I shared enough information. Like I said, it's been pretty easy going, and I'm just really enjoying this stage of pregnancy. And so I would love it if you guys would stick around, subscribe, and give this video a like, and feel free to comment down below if you're pregnant and you're expecting a little one soon. I'd love to build a community here. It's so nice to get to know other mamas that are going through the same thing. And I know for myself, I often turn to YouTube looking and searching for women going through these same motions, because it really does take a village, and right now we just really need each other and that connection. And so I really thank you for being here and for finding me, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.